And if I had to be another person to stand up, if I think, after really going through this, and looking at the files and looking at the case, if I really feel that Karen Reed didn't do this and I have to be a voice that stands up and helps, I will.
We are expecting to learn more about the allegations against the girlfriend of a Boston police officer who was found unresponsive in the snow Saturday morning. I-Team sources say Karen Reed was in a relationship with John O'Keefe. She's facing charges including motor vehicle homicide and manslaughter.
We're the only ones fighting for the truth of what happened to John O'Keefe. And me and my family and my attorneys and my team have marshaled every resource to get to the truth. It just feels like no one else wants it.
Karen, just be clear, you didn't do it.
We know who did it, Steve. We know. And we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know.
And no, she didn't do it. No, she didn't do it. This is an innocent woman. She didn't do it.
I tried to save his life.
Yeah.
I tried to save his life at 6 in the morning. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save his life.
Why'd you admit to it?
She didn't admit to it. She didn't admit to anything close to that. Nothing close to that. And you should know that.
That was like 3 or 4 times she admitted to it.
No, she didn't.
That's not true.
She asked a question. She asked a question, which is very different. She didn't admit to anything.
I'm going to tell you one thing. Karen Reed's not going to fold. Karen Reed's not going to give up. Defense team's not going to quit. The Free Karen Reed movement is going to continue. We will continue to raise funds for her. We will continue to do standouts across Massachusetts, across the nation, across the world to let everybody know what's going on here in the state of Massachusetts, the corruption. And we will continue to get the word out there. Believe me. Believe me. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in Friday night here on LTL. I want to welcome everybody back into the live show. Let's pick this live show up off the carpet and get it regenerized and going again. It's been kind of a rough couple weeks here in the LTL camp, trying to get figure out and navigate where we're going to go here with this channel. But tonight, maybe we can revive it a little bit, get everybody active and going back on the platform here. But I want to welcome everybody in. I see a lot of the Ghost Squad in here. Nice to see everybody. Hello. Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday night so far. So we're going to do a little bit of a kind of a variety show tonight. I have a lot of stuff to kind of go through a little bit. There's been a lot of things that have come up in Karen Reed. We've had some Sandra Birchmore updates. We had the State House protest the other day. We have an update with Enrique Delgado Garcia. The ACL actually was talking today that they want to push forward with federal charges. So we'll hear a little bit about that. And then, it looks like the the prosecution in Karen Reed's case has hired basically a mob boss to come in and take over the prosecution when we go in for round 2. So we'll talk about him today. Hank Brennan. We'll talk a little bit about him. I have some articles from Howie Carr. I have an article from Barstool Sports that's going to kind of explain who this guy is, and then my title on my thumbnail is "Give her the Whitey treatment." I mean, if Michael Morrissey wants to bring in corruption at its finest, this is the guy that they're going to bring in. I mean, really, they're pulling out all stops here. And it's just, it's insane. It's insane. But we'll go through all that tonight. Nice to see everybody in here. And let's see what we got. Let's pull up here. I have an update from Enrique Delgado Garcia. This just dropped about an hour ago. We'll play this from WBZ News and go from there. I just want to start this off on the show. Big Dogs, thank you so much. 5758 replay crew here, but thanks for keeping the show informative. Especially thanks for exposing the stories of Massachusetts. I live in Phoenix, Glendale, Arizona. Thank you so much. And that is going to kick off tonight our 25% kickback to Karen Reed's defense fund. So we'll add $10 there and we'll keep it rolling as the night goes on. Hopefully we can at least get $50 for the defense. That would be great. And I haven't done one of these in a while. And you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to do this. Tonight, I will pick someone with the best super chat, overall super chat, and I will mail out this free Karen Reed hat to them. It's the, what is it? Beige and white this evening. We'll do the beige and white. So at the end of the night, a lucky winner, but you have to be here until the end of the show to claim your prize. And like I said, we'll give out a free Karen Reed trucker hat tonight. The best super chat that comes through, and I'll decide it at the end of the show, and then we'll go from there. So we'll start it off $10. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it. And there's various ways to donate along the way if you would like. Cash App, Venmo, that'll start dropping throughout the show. So let's play here. Enrique Delgado Garcia, obviously we know, is the Mass State Police recruit. That essentially, I mean, in my mind, the last couple of lives that I've gone over, I had Maz Meeting on here last night. We talked about it. I mean, this guy was beat up. This guy was beat to death. And we need to get to the bottom of this. And I don't feel confident at all with the Mass State Police investigating this. I don't feel confident at all with any of these DA offices getting involved. We need an independent, transparent investigation into what happened to Enrico Delgado Garcia. All right, let's just play this here. ACL speaking up. They want the federal investigation soon. Here we go.
Tonight, 3 state senators from Worcester are calling on the state attorney general to appoint a special investigator to look into the death of Enrique Delgado Garcia.
And at the same time, the ACLU wants federal authorities to get involved in the case. The I-Team was the first to report that Delgado Garcia, a recruit at the academy, was critically injured in a boxing exercise. And WBZ chief investigator Cheryl Fiandaca has been digging into the recent troubling history at that training facility.
Yeah.
No one was injured during what was called the slip and slide at the State Police Academy in 2021. The recruit hijinks was just silly shenanigans. But the I-Team found State Police training has a darker history involving allegations of hazing and harassment. In 2005, an investigation found an instructor pushed recruits' heads into toilet bowls as punishment.
An investigation is underway at the Massachusetts State Police Academy.
And in 2022, 20 recruits suffered serious burns on their hands after instructors had them bear crawl on hot pavement. Just last week, 25-year-old recruit Enrique Delgado Garcia died after I-Team sources say he was injured during a boxing exercise. The Worcester County District Attorney promised an outside investigation, but it has been 7 days and no independent agency has been publicly named to take over the case. And in the wake of Delgado's death, a former classmate came forward, alleging discrimination and humiliation at the academy. All of that sparking concern by the ACLU about the lack of oversight of the state police.
The ACLU is calling on the federal authorities to urgently step in and initiate a federal investigation into his death and the surrounding circumstances. Against the backdrop of Mr. Delgado Garcia's death, there are also serious questions that are being raised about whether there's a pattern and practice of discrimination or other systemic illegality at the Massachusetts State Police Academy. Our state really needs to think about how these kinds of allegations of misconduct that involve the Massachusetts State Police are going to be investigated, because every state actor, including law enforcement, requires oversight.
The Massachusetts State Police tells the I-Team no troopers, instructors, or supervisors have been transferred or placed on leave from the academy. The FBI says it does not confirm or deny investigations. Cheryl Fiandaca, WBZ News.
Cheryl, thank you.
Yeah. And I just want to let everybody know. So ACLU now getting involved, demanding that this gets a federal investigation, needs to get a federal investigation. We need transparency in this case. And you know, from what I'm seeing, this is not a routine exercise. I'm sorry, people. I mean, this is not a routine boxing training exercise. This guy was beat. You know, Mazza and I talked about this extensively on the show last night. I mean, this guy was beat up. There was, you know, was it a hazing incident? I don't know. But definitely this guy was beat beyond recognition. I mean, you don't break your spinal cord. You don't break a leg. You don't have, you know, all these facial injuries, broken teeth in just a boxing training exercise. I mean, we watched videos last night, the proper way to do that. They would have headgear on. 16-ounce gloves, which are really padded gloves. And they had instructors there that were, monitoring the situation. This is either something that happened not in front of instructors, kind of behind the scenes, or the instructors are involved and it was an extreme hazing or beating incident. I know a lot of people out there are calling for a racial incident, and it could be. But we don't know. And some information little by little is trickling out. We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll get to the truth of it. And someone will end up cracking at some point. But I do want to recognize this over this coming up on, there's going to be a service for Enrique Delgado Garcia. And that's going to be at the, I don't have my glasses on. I apologize. Looks like it is at the Mernadate Federal Funeral Home. And that's going to be in Worcester, Mass. at 370 Plantation Street. And that'll be on September 27, 2024 from 4 to 8 p.m. and September 28th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. at Hope Cemetery. And then the 28th at 11 a.m. So if you can make the service, please go and pay respects. And I just want to make sure that everybody knew about the service going forward. So, just a case that needs to be investigated and find out what's going on. I mean, this can't happen anymore. It can't happen. I mean, every time we're turning our head here, it's something else. And when is it going to stop? We can have all our top officials and we can have the governor come out and make these statements that, it needs to stop and we need transparency and we need oversight, we need overhaul. Well, why don't you do your job? Get these corrupt people out. It's not a good look. All right. Update here in Sandra Birchmore's case. You're going to hear about Joshua Heel. I know Ted Daniels was on this, and this was actually something that dropped last night. Excuse me. But we'll pull that up and go through this Ted Daniel report. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Krista Dill.
Yeah, the recording that we were never supposed to hear.
Okay.
And I'm Rachel Keller. Hope you enjoyed the Patriots game. We will head back out live to MetLife Stadium in just a few minutes.
But first, a story 25 Investigates has been working on for weeks. It involves the Sandra Birchmore murder investigation. So let's get right to it.
Yes.
I'm investigative reporter Ted Daniel. Former Stoughton police officer Matthew Farwell remains in federal custody, charged with killing Sandra Birchmore. State police initially ruled her death as suicide. 25 Investigates is looking back and at a different cop Birchmore knew named Joshua Heel. We have a recording that was never supposed to be made public.
And how she was failed by, manipulated by, and used by people of authority.
When Stoughton police revealed that 3 of their officers had troubling relationships with Sandra Birchmore, the name of an Abington cop also surfaced. Josh Heel previously worked for Stoughton's Animal Control.
The deputy told me that Heel and the deceased woman were friends and that they had texted quite frequently. I believe it was daily. There was a lot of digital information, he said, and he was hoping that Josh would help him connect the dots.
Can you guys just identify yourselves for the recording?
25 Investigates has obtained a recording of then Abington Police Chief David Del Papa in a formal interview with a town attorney. Del Papa says he was told in December 2021 that Josh Heel was a witness in Stoughton's probe. Here he describes getting new information 3 months later.
Birchmore was known to several members of the department as having mental health issues. Sandra had disclosed details about her relationships with other members of the department to Josh in explicit detail.
And according to Del Papa, Heel also had a sexual encounter with Birchmore.
The deputy chief had disclosed to me that he had received oral sex from a woman, and I basically told him that it happened off duty and extramarital affairs on any of my business.
And this is a guy who was working at schools at the time.
That's right. Josh Heel was an Abington school resource officer and police comfort dog handler. Kirk Minahan reported extensively on Birchmore and Heel in season 2 of his podcast called The Case.
It seems to me, minute 1, you find out, you put this guy on leave until you figure your stuff out. And if he's exonerated, fine, back to work. But of course, he wasn't exonerated.
Heel continued to work in the schools for another 6 months until the day after Del Papa learned that Heel's name had been mistakenly left unredacted in a report that was going to be shared with the media.
They wanted to give us a heads up because it was going to be a disaster. So I got off the phone. I called Josh in and told him, you're on admin leave. At that point, I still didn't know the full breadth of Stone's investigation as far as one of the officers having relations with this woman when she was underage and the grooming and all that.
We asked Abington Town Manager Scott Lambiase if Heel should have been taken out of the schools sooner, based on what Del Papa did know.
You know, as a police officer and a member of a union, civil service, there's steps that.
Don, thank you so much for being a 1 month member. I appreciate your support. And Annie, thank you so much for being a 5 month member. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Let's see. Audrey says, this case is so sad. Every time I think of Sandra, I can't believe how these cops groomed her, made her believe they cared and loved her, and they were only using her for sexual issues. My heart breaks. Absolutely. You know, and that is the you know, the craziest thing in all of this is that you look at when someone trusts someone and they use their power. This is all about power is what it's about. It's about authority and power. That I have you under my control, and you're using essentially the badge in a uniform because this young girl, Sandra Birchmore, looked up to police officers. So they're using that against her, using the badge, using the uniform to manipulate her. And that's what they did. And then eventually, when it got too far and too deep, they killed her. They killed her and her baby. All right, let's keep playing.
You have to go through before you can actually put somebody on administrative leave or begin an investigation. But I believe that once we actually knew the full depth and confirmation on what had actually happened, we acted pretty quickly.
Heel remained on paid leave until he resigned in early 2023. In a statement, Heel's attorney tells 25 Investigates Heel is a material witness and Mr. Heel has not now, has not been ever, and is not going to be the target of any criminal charges in the future because he has not broken any laws. Del Papa stepped down in May 2024 in what the
I'm guessing with his when he had the encounter with Sandra, she must have been of age, but he was a witness to what essentially she told him about all of these other officers, the underage sex that they were involved with her. But you know, this doesn't make this guy any better either. But that's probably why he's never going to have any charges against him, because she was probably of age. And, you know, he's essentially a material witness to everything that went on because she told him everything.
Town describes as a mutual separation. Abington hired an outside investigator that concluded Del Papa was professional and diligent in his handling of Heel. Del Papa tells us what happened to Birchmore is an absolute tragedy. He says, given the very limited information, my response was appropriate to what I knew at the time. Kirk Minahan sees it differently.
The buck was passed a lot of times. I think Del Papa should own up for his failures in this entire situation.
Yeah. Days before Del Papa placed Heel on leave, he learned that Heel had texted, quote, graphic and filthy things with Birchmore while on duty. Del Papa also became aware that Heel created an unauthorized Instagram account named after his police comfort dog. Heel no longer works as a police officer. For 25 Investigates, I'm Ted Daniel.
Great reporting by Ted Daniel. All right. Chaos in Canton last night at the Canton audit meeting, trying to get this Canton audit off the ground. Rita Lombardi doing her best, protesting and standing up for justice. And we'll watch a little bit of that last night in the Canton audit meeting.
Chaos
at a Canton
committee meeting over an audit of the police department. To say there was tension there would be an understatement.
Well, right now, there are several cases in town that are in the national spotlight, and the committee is having a tough time sort of nailing down a firm to conduct the audit. NBC Boston's Alicia Palumbo has details on that fiery discussion, and this is a story you will only see right here on NBC 10 Boston.
And just before we go further, I know we're getting some more people in here. So let you know, tonight we're going to give away a free Karen Reed hat, the beige and white. And I will piss. I will piss. Nice. Real nice. I will pick the best super chat tonight. And once I pick that, I'll send this out to the best super chatter tonight. So, yeah, free Karen Reed hat. So get yourself in there if you want it. You have to be at the end of the show, and I will pick the winner. And then tonight, 25% of all donations will get kicked back to Karen Reed. I would love to at least get $50 over to the Reed Defense Fund. I haven't done one of these in a while, so it'd be really nice to give her some kickback over there. So, Dave, thank you so much. That's going to enter you. It says for Karen Reed. Appreciate that. And that $10 will be added up. I said piss, by the way. I meant to say pick. There's other ways to donate as well. I'll take Venmo's, Cash Apps as well. Read those out, and I will pick. Just send a message along with them, and I will pick the best one tonight. All right. Wow, my mouth is all over the place tonight.
For them, for this town. You don't care about this town.
Emotions ran high at a meeting of the Police Audit Committee in Canton Thursday night to
Dave,
the point where police had to be called to escort at least one community member out. And even members of the committee had heated exchanges amongst themselves.
This is a disruption to the committee. Just the same way. What is your next question? He's here to intimidate me.
Drama is nothing new for the town of Canton, whose voters approved the independent audit of the Canton Police Department in a special election last year. That push came after the backlash from how police handled the investigation into Boston police officer John O'Keefe's death and the Sandra Birchmore case.
Canton has become nationally known for its lack of transparency.
This meeting was supposed to be the gateway to transparency, a discussion of the scope of services needed to help the town decide on a firm to conduct the audit. But some were at odds over whether the duration and price tag of the audit were realistic, and that led to more shouting matches.
You don't have a degree as a lawyer. That's what I said, and that's what I meant. You misunderstanding? Mr. Chairman, this is not like a way to talk to people.
I'm tired of this. We come here and we try to work with you, and all you're doing is yelling at people.
After the meeting, frustration only grew.
I think that this meeting was an absolute clown show, and the person in charge should be removed.
No, I'm not going to step down.
Despite all this drama, the committee hopes to have bids in by the end of this month and hopes to get the audit started by November. We'll have to wait and see if that actually happens. Outside Canton Police Headquarters, Alicia Palumbo, NBC 10 Boston.
All right. That was Canton Select Board meeting last night. Dewey, thank you so much. $4.99 says the Canton Audit Committee has the most hilarious cast. What a great, dark new comedy sitcom. It is kind of turning into that, isn't it? It's a complete shit show. You know, we need an audit, and you can obviously see why they want to continue to keep holding this back, because there's a lot of corruption in Canton. I mean, it's crazy. You know, people across the world, you know, just because of like the Karen Reed case, but now knowing what's going on in Canton, I mean, people are really tuned in. I see people from like Australia, from London, you know, they're just really in tune with this now. And it's just a complete shit show. We need an audit there. We need transparency. Reality check, $2. Thank you. Suggest when you think Norfolk can't be any worse. I'd say 100%. 100%. All right, what are we going to move on to here? Oh, State House protests. Let's watch some of the video from that the other day. Fantastic job, everybody that went out there and supported, that all the people that could get out there to support Karen Reed, Sandra Birchmore, Enrico Delgado Garcia, Justin Root. It was really nice to see all those familiar faces out there. Unfortunately, I could not make it, but hopefully if they do another one of these big rallies, I will be back out there to stand in protest. All right, let's pull up some videos from the other day and check this out from WBZ Boston.
The Karen Reed and Sandra Birchmore cases demonstrated outside the State House today. WBZ's Christina Rex is live on Beacon Hill. Christina, they want reforms at the state police, at the Norfolk County DA's office, and in Canton Police.
Real quick, David, thank you so much. $2. It's more like a bad reality show. No, I agree. The Canton Committee meetings, terrible.
Yeah, and Lisa, listen, these rallies are not new. They've been happening for years, but typically they take place in Norfolk County, either at the DA's office or at the courthouse. So I asked why they're at the State House today, and the protesters tell me they're hoping to get the attention of Governor Healy and state lawmakers. A familiar group of protesters with a growing list of concerns. Their signs: Sandra Birchmore, killed in Canton, state trooper recruit Enrique Delgado Garcia, who just died, and John O'Keefe. All cases this group believes are connected by police corruption. They believe Karen Reed was framed for the murder of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe.
She was.
Her second trial is scheduled for January, and its new lead special prosecutor will be Hank Brennan, a well-respected private defense attorney.
Well-respected, yeah. He's a crime fucking Whitey fucking Bulger. You know, let's send that guy over there. He'll get shit straightened out. You know, it's a little worrisome. This guy that defended Whitey Bulger. Yeah, let's send him over. We'll get him involved. Tell me that's not an intimidation factor. Literally handing this case over to mobsters. What the fuck? I mean, can it get any stranger or any more corrupt? Let's just send that guy over there that defended Bulger and said that Bulger was a straight guy. They didn't do anything, and that that police are the one. He said, and we're gonna read this later on when we talk about this guy a little bit more, and Howie Carr's article, that police are the ones that frame and corrupt, that are involved in framing and corruption, but not in this case. All right, let's keep playing.
Appointed to the case by the DA. A lot of the discussion from your group at your protest has been concerns about corruption. Does it instill any confidence in you that a third party is not going to be prosecuting this?
No, it doesn't. This doesn't even touch the part of what we think about as corruption. And I don't know much about this attorney, but I look at some of the people he represented.
He's talking about crime boss Whitey Bulger, who Hank Brennan represented years ago. Karen Reed's brother Nathan tells WBZ his sister is undeterred by this new challenge.
Not terribly surprising.
Yeah,
I think certainly for round two, they're going to have to change some things up. You would expect that. We weren't caught off guard by it. I think from our lens, the facts are on our side. We remain confident in that.
Karen Reed FaceTimed into the rally, greeting supporters while she did trial prep with her 3 defense attorneys, and her brother thanked the crowd in person.
And then, as we know, the trial prep is to her appeal is going to go up to appeal 2 of the charges. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a second. That's going to go up to the SJC. Let me just get this. Angela P., thank you so much, $5. So glad I caught you live. Y'all, I'm tired and almost gave my dog spoons with their dinner bowls. Whoa. Well, thank you for the $5. That'll get you entered into the hat giveaway. We give away a hat tonight. Any super chat will get you involved, and I will give away this the beige and white free Karen Reed hat to one lucky super chatter tonight. I'll pick it at the end, and you got to be here at the end to claim the prize. So make sure that if you send a super chat in, put a little phrase in there, because I'm going to pick one of the best phrases. Galen, thank you so much. $20 says happy Friday, and I love your dog. Love the dog. So we'll keep adding that on. We're at 61 right now. I want to get 25% kickback tonight to Karen Reed's Defense Fund. I like to at least get at least $50 in there. All right, let's keep going here.
The amount of time you've all taken out of your work, away from your family.
Yeah, it's true.
It's incredibly touching, and it's not lost on us.
And we could see in that FaceTime there that Karen Reed was in trial prep with her 3 defense attorneys from her first trial, including the 2 from Los Angeles who seem to be back in Massachusetts now. Now, coming up in our next story, why do people keep protesting this case even when there's not a trial going on? They explain the changes they feel their rallies have caused. Coming up at 6 o'clock. Live at the State House, Christina Rex, WBZ.
All right, let's hear a little bit more from the State House the other day. Appreciate y'all being in here late night on a Friday Friday hangouts late night. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. All right, here we go. From WWLP Station 22. Here we go.
Murder trial continues to stir up controversy throughout the state.
22 News State House reporter Olivia Ray has a look at a protest outside the State House today.
Welcome in, everybody. Smash
Demonstrators gathered on the State House steps this morning to call for state leadership accountability in the Karen Reed trial. Reed, accused of running over her Boston police boyfriend with her SUV and leaving him for dead, the accused in a highly televised murder trial that ended in a hung jury. Many protesters believing she is innocent and that she was framed by the Canton and Massachusetts State Police. This standout coming after the announcement that a special prosecutor, a former lawyer for Whitey Bulger, will be the lead prosecutor on Reed's second trial. Deedon Kearney, better known online as Turtle Boy, speaking against the special prosecutor at the demonstration.
Congratulations, Michael Morrissey. You have handed over your office to the mob. Well done. Well done. The people that are supposed to protect us from this have held it over to the mob.
Protesters also spoke about other high-profile cases like the murder of Sandra Birchmore, for which a former Stoughton police officer has been charged. This case also being handled by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office.
I need to come out and speak to the people up in the Golden Palace, because they are not listening to what is going on, the reality of what is going on in the streets of Massachusetts.
Protesters calling for a change within the state police, Canton Police, and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office.
Congratulations. Michael Morrissey, you've now handed this over to the mob. Yeah, he's right. That's pretty scary. It's pretty scary stuff. Yeah, let's bring that straight-laced guy in, right? The guy that defended Whitey Bulger, right? We'll bring him in. He'll get everything buttoned up here, right? Jesus.
A trial date for Birchmore's accused killer has not yet been set, and Karen Reed's second trial is set to begin in January. Working for you from the State House in Boston, I'm Olivia Ray, 22 News.
Mary, you're a little bit behind. We're at 71, actually. 71. All right, let's do this. Megan Johnson, thank you so much for the $5. That gets you entered into the free Karen Reed hat, beige and white. Appreciate it. We're going to pick a lucky super chat at the end of the night. You got to be here to the end of the stream, and I will pick it. And I'll just have you email me, give me your address, and we'll get a free Karen Reed hat out. I got 2 hats that I need to send out this week. I promise to those subscribers, I'll get those out to you this week. I promise. So Megan says, telling me Morrissey's corrupt without telling me. In walks Hank Brennan to the DA's office. I like that one. That's probably so far, I think that's going to be the one so far. I like that one the best so far. So Megan, you're in the lead right now. I like that. Or just like, how about tell me Morrissey is corrupt without telling me? Hank Brennan walks in and says, "Hold my beer," something like that. Coffee Cake, love the name. $5 says, is there any way we can get a copy of the special prosecutor's contract? How much they are paying for his services? I'm not sure, but I'm sure that some people will probably do some digging around, but that's a good question. I don't know how that works. Maybe I can ask Mark Betterow. Crystal Pond, $20 says, is Brennan related to Auntie Bev? That's a good question, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But I love this one. There's a beige and white's pretty sweet. So what do we got here? You missed 5, Mary. If you want to keep the running total, that'll be great. That'll help me out. Yeah, we could try to FOIO it, but I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably not going to get it. Because you know how things are here in Massachusetts. They like to deny a lot of those FOIA requests. John, thank you so much. Says free Karen Reed. Appreciate that. And Chrissy, a $9.99 says, thanks for all your coverage on this. I love the hold my beer idea, right? In walks Hank Brennan, hold my beer, right? I love it. Reality check, $5. Chris screws Brian, so I went back and watched CA's testimony, and he clearly states that BA and BH came together and left together, and he was more sober. Hope DF got it. I want to go back and watch. There's a couple of testimony, and it just literally jumped out of my head. But there's a couple of them I want to go back and watch. soon and do those replays, because I had some questions on them and it totally just slipped my mind right now. My mind is so out of it right now. All right, let's talk about Karen Reed getting set up for her appeal that's going to go to the highest court. So Massachusetts SJC outlines schedule for Karen Reed's bid to get her murder charge dropped. This one's from NBC 10. We'll pull this up, and then there's an article I want to read through as well, too. A little bit through this article. We'll page through it, but this is from NBC 10 Boston. Here we
Reed
go.
wasn't guilty on those charges. Reed was on trial after she was charged
hold
with the
my
death
beer.
of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, who's found dead.
I'm working on getting some LTL media hats. Those are going to be in the works really soon. I just got to get the design over. Actually, Jennifer from Boma is going to actually help me get them made. We're going to, I'm going to try like 25 of them. We can sell 25, then I'll keep producing them and we'll go from there. But I love, her designs, her ideas. I actually talked to her on the phone the other day. I said, hey, can we get this done? Can we do this? Can we make some hats together? And she's like, absolutely. Just send the designs over. We'll get them. I like hats. I'm a hat guy. I've tried t-shirts. They don't really sell well. I think a lot of people like hats. So we'll try that. We'll get some hats made up. I think that'll be fun. Let's see. Wow. Big super chat that just came in. Thank you so much. Quinna G, $50 super chat. Wow. Free Karen Reed until she's free. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And that will get you into the running for the free Karen Reed beige and white. And I will pick that at the end of the show. And like I said, put a funny little statement in there or a saying or something like that. And I will pick one of the best ones that at the end of the chat. So let's see. AJ Charles, thank you so much. Hold my broken cocktail glass. I like that one too. That one's really good. I like that. So I got a couple of good ones here so far. David, thank you so much. Says total irony, an attorney defended a mob boss by claiming the government was corrupt. Now working for a corrupt DA. I like that too. $5 on that one. Mario, I don't know if you got the total, but hopefully you do. But if not, we can go back and add them up. Not a problem. All right, let's play on here, players.
Outside of Canton home in January 2022.
No matter 25% what the Supreme Court decides here, though,
all
count two,
donations
the
tonight
vehicular manslaughter case would be going forward at any rate. The question is, will the Supreme Court say the double jeopardy bars counts 1 and 3?
Even so, Reed's lawyers are pressing on, even after the judge in Reed's case denied their motion to dismiss. Attorney Martin Weinberg, who argued that appeal, tells us he'll be presenting oral arguments to the Supreme Judicial Court on Reed's behalf. The DA's office telling us Friday it has no comment.
It is a win that the court would hear it in its entirety in relatively short order. But, be careful what you wish for. Sometimes the answer is no. Double jeopardy does not bar the retrial on counts 1 and 3.
Let's talk timeline here because it's tight. Karen Reed's lawyers have until next Wednesday to file a brief. Prosecutors mid-October. And the docket says right now
maybe I'll
this
get
hearing
some
could
stickers
be
made
held
up.
in November. Our legal expert, Michael Coyne, you heard from him right there, said expect a decision around the first of the year. And that matters because as it stands right now, Reed's second trial is slated for late January.
How many people think that the trial is going to happen in January? You think it will be moved? Or do you think it's going to happen on the said date on the 20th? Is it the 25th? If you think that it's going to be moved, the date will be moved. Put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's going to happen on time, type a 2. And by the way, Clarissa, I just gave you a wrench. So welcome to the moderator. You are now a moderator. So let me know a 1 if you think it's going to be moved, or 2, it's going to start on time. Dismissed. A lot of people saying dismissed. I like that too. Option 3, dismissed. But I think they're going to push this thing all the way, unfortunately. Now they got this shithead in there, Mr. Corrupt, Mr. Mob Boss. I think it's going to get moved. Yeah, a lot of people. Crystal, hopeful, 3, dismissed. I don't know, Crystal. I think they're going to push this all the way, unfortunately. All right, let's look at this here. WBCV 5. Oh, you're welcome. Absolutely. Thank you. You're here a lot. So welcome to the wrench. Welcome to the wrench. Welcome to the wrench. All right. Massachusetts SJC outline schedule for Karen Reed's bid to get murder charges dropped. Massachusetts High Court is making plans to hear Karen Reed's final attempt to have some charges dropped before a second trial begins in connection with the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Reed's murder trial has ended with a hung jury. However, the defense said that several jurors have come forward to report that they were ready to acquit her for second-degree murder, and we can't discount Aiden Turtle Boys Carney's reporting on this as well. Did a phenomenal job behind the scenes. He's talked to one of the jurors twice, and getting the story on that source, which is phenomenal. Good for him. That's great. Superior Court judge denied her motion to dismiss the charge. The decision, and that's the thing that I'm talking about here. Right here. This is what you have to be more concerned with. Superior Court judge denied the motion to dismiss the charge. Pretty much the highest court is saying, no, we're going to keep going on with this. We're going to keep pushing it. Rachel, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate that. That's going to get you entered into the giveaway hat. And like I said, if you're gonna do a super chat, throw a little fun saying in there, because I'm gonna pick at the end of the night, which I think is the best super chat, and 25% of your donations will get kicked back to Karen Reed's Defense Fund tonight as well. Mary, do you get the totals going? So let's do here. All right. So it says now the Superior Court denied the motion. Decision the defense is now appealing to the Supreme Judicial Court. It goes on. According to the SGC docket, the court has set a deadline of September 25th of Reed's legal defense team to file a brief about the case. The prosecution will be given till October 16th to file its brief. And Reed's attorney will have until October 25th to file a reply. Oral arguments in the appeal could be as soon as November. And the docket indicates. We already know the background on the case. Let's see. Reed's trial came at the end of July 1st. We know that when a jury of 6 women and 6 men said repeatedly that they were hopelessly deadlocked, and Judge Beverly Canones declared a mistrial. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate that. Goes on. After careful consideration, this was a quote by Judge Auntie Bev. After careful consideration, this court concludes that because the defendant was not acquitted on any of the charges, the defense counsel consent to the court's declaration of mistrial. Double jeopardy was not implicated by the retrial of the defendant. The motion is therefore denied. That she wrote in August. Team Reed will immediately said they will appeal. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office acknowledged the appeal and said that the response would be filed according to the SJC. Earlier this week, District Attorney, of course, Michael Meatball Morsi, named attorney Hank Brennan, a special prosecutor that's going to lead the retrial. Mr. Mob Boss. Mr. Mob Boss is going to lead the retrial. Great. Dave, thank you so much. $2 says Lally got rehomed to the second chair. Yes, got rehomed. Is it going to be in Vermont? We're going to see him go to Vermont. It'd be nice, right? Be nice. All right, let's read this. WBZ, let's hear this.
The Supreme Judicial Court will hear Karen Reed's appeal to dismiss 2 of the charges against her. A single justice on the court ruled that the full panel should hear the case before making a decision. In July, the jury in Reed's first trial said it was deadlocked and the judge declared a mistrial. But Reed's attorneys claim that some of those jurors came to them saying they voted behind closed doors to acquit Reed on 2 of the charges, second-degree murder and leaving the scene. Right now, the retrial in the case is set for January.
Rachel, thank you so much. $2
on this team.
He watches film.
$2. Who, if any, from the prosecution was demoted? Yeah, Adam Lally. Let's see. Pretty much the same thing we read in the last article. All right, let's talk about this special prosecutor, Hank Brennan, Mr. Mob Boss. Let's talk about him a little bit. I got a couple of videos here. I got a couple of articles that we're making our way through. I got one from Howie Carr. We have one from Barstool Sports, which is great. We'll page through those, but let's hear how the mainstream media first is going to describe Hank Brennan, and then let's get the truth from the independent media, or the media that's going to really tell the truth, not the mainstream media. And let's hear this first. So Hank Brennan, here we go.
He made a name for
Channel
himself
5.
defending notorious gangster James
He
Whitey
made
Bulger.
a
And now
name for himself. They're all like super excited.
he'll be prosecuting Karen Reed in her retrial this winter after a jury was deadlocked this summer. The Norfolk DA appointing a special prosecutor.
And tonight we're hearing how the family of the man Reed is accused of killing feels about
Here you go,
this.
Dewey.
Reed was neither convicted nor acquitted in the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. And now prosecutors are changing their strategy. Our Mary Solana is in the newsroom with what happens next, Mary.
Yeah, Marina, this is a major shakeup. Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey has put prominent Boston attorney Hank Brennan in charge of the Reed case going forward. Legal experts say putting Hank Brennan in charge of Karen Reed's retrial gives prosecutors not only a fresh set of eyes, but a boost in credibility and strategy.
He is then given independent.
Fucking muscle. That's mob muscle right there. That's what this is. This is mob muscle. Let's get some muscle behind this.
To look at the whole case, the charges, what's appropriate going forward, what witnesses do I use?
News Center 5 legal analyst Martha Coakley says Brennan is the reset the prosecution needed.
I think he brings that gravitas,
Brings that mob muscle.
strength,
Oh,
of
God.
character, and experience.
This guy's voice is terrible too. Christina W., thank you so much. $2 says, how's long until the feds blow this case wide open? We've been waiting. We've been waiting, Christina. I mean, we've been waiting. Are they gathering all this information? It's just going to blow wide open. We come, turn of the year, January 1st, 2025. Feds come out, press conference, bam, lay this whole thing out. I mean, that would be the best case scenario, right? But I don't know. We got mob muscle now. Mob muscle.
To the case at this stage. It's a smart move for the DA.
In a statement, Hank Brennan told News Center 5, I have two core obligations. The first is to make certain that Karen Reed receives a fair trial. Ms. Reed will receive the dignity and fairness that every defendant deserves in our criminal.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna believe this guy that said Whitey was a clean-faced guy that didn't do any of this? You're gonna believe this guy? All right. Love the
criminal
quote.
justice system. The second is to ensure that the facts surrounding John O'Keefe's death are fully and fairly aired in the courtroom without outside influence. Reed's attorney, Alan Jackson, fired back in his own statement, accusing District Attorney Morrissey of using taxpayer funds to hire an outside lawyer because he lacks confidence in his own team, saying they can bring anyone they want to court. We will beat this unjust prosecution just like we did the last time.
I think they can condense things, move things along a little bit faster.
That was John O'Keefe's brother, Paul, in June, when News Center 5's David Bienick asked him what prosecutors might do differently in the second trial.
I don't think any jury wants to sit there for 9 weeks and then deliberate for another week.
Tonight, the O'Keefe family tells News Center 5, we are happy and excited to have Hank.
We got fucking mob muscle on our team now. Let me just read this. Karen, thank you so much. $2. So it's like asking a rat to guard cheese. I like that one. $2 Canadian. Nice to see my Canadian friends in here tonight. Nice to see a lot of the Ghost Squad members as well, too. I appreciate you being here late on this Friday night. I mean, what better can we do, right? Hang on a Friday night, talk a little Karen Reed, talk a lot about the corruption that's going on here in the state of Massachusetts. It makes me sick that I live here, that I have to go through this, and I literally wake up every day and say, what's next? What else is going to happen? When is this supposed to, when is someone going to step in and put their foot down and say, hey, we need to start cleaning this up? Waiting for that moment. It's not happening. People are dying. We have a recruit, a cadet that died at the Mass State Police facility the other day, and there's no answer. That guy was beat to a pulp. Still no answers. Nanny Who, thank you so much, $5. What, if any, corruption are we talking about? Let's put a mobster's attorney on her payroll. I like that one, too. That might be one of the top competitors tonight. The super chat to win the Karen Reed beige and white. Karen Reed beige and white. We got the pink free Karen Reed patch on there. One lucky winner tonight. It's gonna win. Got to be here though by the end of the chat, end of the stream. I mean, I'm doing great, Sophie. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. All right, Crystal Pond, $2. Did they think this dude would scare AJ? I don't know. Let's throw the muscle in there, the mob muscle. It's not gonna scare AJ. You know that. He's gonna put a brilliant statement out, just like he did. You can bring anybody in they want. We're still gonna win. Still gonna beat them. But it is pretty disgusting. They're using taxpayers' dollars to hire this guy in. And I mean, I'm going to tell you, what did we find Lally? Lally was what? 100,000, 200,000 his salary. This guy's probably brought in for, I'd say 300,000 to 500,000 to try this case. What do y'all think? What do you think? Put the salary in the chat. What do you think this guy's getting paid? You think it's 500,000 to come in and do this? Lisa, $5. Mischief, mayhem, murder equals mafia. Free Karen Reed, justice for John O'Keefe. I love it. Free Turtle Boy. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. 500K. Name says at least 10 million. I don't think it's 10 million. I'm going to say at least 500K. That's what this guy's getting. At least 5. Ellen thinks $1 million. 100K, Rob. I don't know, Rob. I think it's going to be more than that. You think it's $1 million? 850,000. Well, Mello got 80, so I'd say at least 300,000. 750,000. 250. Kerry thinks 250. 850. Really? I'd be curious to see. Need says I heard close to $1 million. I'm going to say probably around 500,000. Oh, Wit, thank you. $10. I need that hat to cover my head from all the shit slinging jokes about Brennan that are on the way. I like it. Thanks for the 10. We'll add that to the total, and 25% tonight will be kicked back to Karen Reed's defense fund. Haven't done one of these streams in a while. Feels good, you know? Feels good to give back. All right, let's finish this up, and then we'll move on. I got another video here from the mainstream media, and then we'll hear the truth. We have Howard Carr's article and from Barstool Sports. And then at the end, we're going to pick a winner for the hat, but I got a special treat from Jennifer Coffindaffer that was tweeting today about Hank Brennan and how ethical he is. All right, let's keep playing here.
As part of the team. Now, the O'Keefe family has filed a wrongful death civil lawsuit against Karen Reed. Reed's criminal retrial is slated for January.
All right, let's move on here. WCBS News. I'm going to play that one. I watched it a little earlier, but this is going to talk about Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan. While that plays, I'm just going to step out for 2 seconds.
Major headlines in the Karen Reed retrial tonight. The Norfolk County DA's office has hired a private defense attorney to lead the case. Hank Brennan will take over as lead prosecutor on this case. Thank you for joining us tonight on the news at 8. I'm Courtney Cole. Now, Brennan wants defendant Whitey Bulger. WBZ's Tammy Mutasa joins us live in studio tonight with reaction from the Reed defense team. Tammy.
Well, Courtney, this is definitely a surprise move in this sensational case, but some legal experts say it is a smart move given the drama and who the new lead attorney will be.
When Karen Reed goes back to court for her highly anticipated second trial in the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, the prosecution will be led by a new attorney known for handling high-profile cases, Hank Brennan.
We had a client who was willing to take the stand, implicate himself, and for some reason the government didn't want him to testify.
This was him in 2015 defending infamous mob boss Whitey Bulger in a bid for a new trial. The Norfolk County DA's office says it hired the private defense attorney who brings more than 25 years of experience in state and federal courts.
This is the right move, but it's also a very smart move.
In a statement, Brennan says, I assume full responsibility and all obligations for prosecuting this case and will do so meticulously, ethically, and zealously without compromise. Ethically. Adding that he wants to make sure Reed gets a fair trial, and that the facts surrounding John O'Keefe's death are fully and fairly aired without influence. WBZ legal analyst Jennifer Roman says the move makes sense with the increased scrutiny on the DA's office and the Massachusetts State Police, which investigated O'Keefe's death.
The prosecution needed a fresh pair of eyes, number one. Number two, they needed to distance themselves from all of the drama that's going on internally with other Norfolk County investigators. They needed
drama is not, that's not drama. That's fucking corruption is what it is. That she's calling, this is what I love about the mainstream media. They know what's going on. The corruption's going on, but we'll call it drama. So drama just equals corruption. Oh, we need to get him away from all of the drama. That's corruption. Corruption that's going on in the Norfolk County. That's what they call, that's the secret word for corruption. They just use drama. Let's put drama in there. No, that's corruption. That's corruption. Let me call this out. TJ Hill, $2. Thank you so much. Shout out from Wilmington, North Carolina. Free Karen Reed. I love it. I love seeing the Free Karen Reed across this great nation, this great state and nation. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. Let's call it. It's drama. No, it's corruption. It's corruption. Let's see. 2-month membership. TC, thank you. Mob boss attorney would make me livid as a juror. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Once the jurors find out who this guy is, you think that's gonna help the jury like him, make him a likable guy, knowing that this guy defended Whitey Bulger? That's a good point. Love it. All right, let's keep playing here.
Needed to pursue this investigation and this trial with the utmost of integrity.
Reed's defense attorney sent us a statement saying the news that Michael Morrissey has decided to use taxpayer funds to hire an outside lawyer
I think so too, Lisa.
Speaks volumes about his confidence in his own team. Right now, Reed is appealing 2 of her charges, arguing the deadlocked jury internally agreed to acquit her of second-degree murder and leaving the scene before the mistrial. But Reed's second trial is still scheduled in January with all 3 charges, including manslaughter.
It's too early to tell what's going to happen in January. It's really going to depend on how the evidence comes in. A different jury, different prosecutor. Who knows?
Now, the lead prosecutor in the first trial, Adam Lawley, will still be part of the prosecution team. Courtney?
WBZ 10.
All right. Let's pull up this article from Howie Carr. Howie Carr. Let's get some truth here. Let's hear some truth. All right, I like this. The ghost of Whitey Bulger in the Karen Reed case. Now, all these years later, Brennan returns to the limelight, not as a defense lawyer, as a special prosecutor of the Karen Reed, who will endure one sham trial and now faces a second one in January. Howie Carr goes on to write, when he was representing Whitey Bulger in 2013 in his murder trial, Hank Brennan had to tell the judge why the serial killer refused to speak before his sentence. Quote, he believes the trial was a sham, Brennan told Denise Casper. A sham? You call Whitey trial a sham, Hank? When it comes to the sham trials, you ain't seen nothing yet. I like that. Now, all these years later, Brennan returns to the limelight, not as a defense lawyer, but as a special prosecutor of Karen Reed, who already endured one sham trial, now faces a second one in January. The trial is going to be sham 2.0. And instead of decrying government overreach against Whitey, which he did, this time Brennan will be tasked with trying to frame Karen Reed. Ironic, because in 2013, despite all the evidence and the contrary in Bulger's case, Brennan, in fact, seemed to believe that cops were capable of railroading people that don't like to protect their corrupt cronies. In his closing in federal court, Brennan even brought up the fate of a crooked FBI agent from Boston who lied on the witness stand as a defense witness for Whitey. Quote, they'll crush you, Brennan said. They'll bully him and berate him and crush him. That happens when you're not with them. You're either with them or you're against them. Paging Karen Reed. Whitey had 2 lawyers, Brennan and Jay Carney, excuse me, who was the lead guy older and more jaded about his mobster client. Brennan, on the other hand, developed a massive man crush on Whitey. It's weird how much he seemed to idolize the monster. Let me just get this here. Dave, thank you so much. Sham Wow, $2. I love it. Sham Wow, $2. I love that. That's a pretty good one, man. I gotta say that might be the leader right now. I think he might have knocked out the top spot there. Kerry, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo. We'll add that to the total. And then Crystal comes in with another $2. Says Brennan is perfect for the Canton Mafia. But I like the Sham Wow known right now. Dave, I think you got it in the lead right now, but we'll pick it at the end. Promise. Karen Reed is innocent. Solo cups, $22.22. We'll add it up to 23. Solo cups are red. Bulgers are Whitey. To Hank Brennan and Canton Corrupt. Say good nighty. Canton ain't got no quit. LTL Media rocks. I love that. That's a good one too. I don't know. This is going to be hard tonight. It's going to be hard tonight to pick a winner. Super chat winner of the beige and white. This is a fresh hat too. Beige and white from Boma Hats. Pink Karen Reed patch on there. And we're doing good because 25% of all donations tonight will get donated to Karen Reed's Defense Fund. So you have the chance to do something good and get a hat. It's good stuff. Rosemarie, thank you so much. 5-month member says, free Karen Reed. I appreciate it. What I need y'all to do right now is to smash that liketh button because that will help the algorithm. All right, let me keep reading here. After Whitey was murdered, Brennan handled 2 lawsuits for the Hack Bulger family against the feds. They were laughed out of court naturally. Brennan, who attended Whitey's funeral. Guy went to fucking Whitey Bulger's funeral. Come on. Is it safe to say that when Whitey yelled jump, Brennan answered back how high? And now Brennan goes on the payroll of Meatball Morrissey, who was elected to the state Senate back in the days when it was run by William M. Bulger, Whitey's younger brother. When Billy Bulger yelled jump, Meatball likewise answered back how high. Meatball was Billy Bulger's butler. So, can you understand why Meatball had his nationwide search for Hank? They're both, quote, in the element, as they used to say. Brennan appears to be at least the 4th special prosecutor that Meatball has hired to continue his twisted jihad of retribution and revenge against Karen Reed, L. Turtle Boy, Karen Reed's biggest supporter, who has been thrown into jail for 2 months, is now being chased by at least 3 of Meatball Morrissey's special prosecutors. Those all hacked too, just like Meatball himself and Brennan. Consider Robert Cosgrove, a retired hack judge and member of Meatball Mafia. I love this. Howie Carr's awesome. He was picked to go after Turtle Boy in this ridiculous case, but maybe he needs some dough. In addition to whatever Meatball has been paying him, Cosgrove currently gets 2 counts on him, 2 state pensions as former hack of the Norfolk County DA's office. His mail comes to $64,264 a year. As a retired judge, Cosgrove collects a separate pension of $139,000 a year, a total annual grab of $204,000. We'll just round it up. $204,000. Holy schmokies. All right, David, thank you so much. Meatball can only jump 2 inches. I like that one too. What's up, Scott? How are you? Good to see you in the chat tonight. Rose, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. I appreciate it. I love it. Oh, this article's great. And I'll drop the link if you want to read it after I read through it. So it goes on to say, can't Meatball find anybody already on his payroll to try what he believes? However, delusionally, he is an important case. And don't even get me started with Meatball's detective, the state police, who by their own account spent too much of their time searching for nude photos in female defendants' cell phones. That's a fact. The question in this Karen Reed case is whether she's been made a patsy for other corrupt bad actors who likely murdered her boyfriend. That is the sentence of the article right there. She is a patsy. There is a bigger thing here in all of this. In the Whitey trial, Brennan was all in famed up theory, whether it's South Boston or Canton. It's all about cover up and what career criminals will do to avoid getting caught. Steve Fleming was Whitey's partner in crime, who became a prosecution witness against him. Brennan was assigned to cross-examine Fleming. He questioned Fleming at length about how he murdered Deb Hussey's stepdaughter after taking her shopping. Oh, Wit, thank you so much. $2. You, Brennan, should be ashamed of yourself. I love it. Yeah, this is crazy, right, Kate? All right, let's keep reading on here. So here's the questioning. Brennan, you didn't tell her you were going to murder her. Fleming, of course not. Yeah, Steve Rifleman Fleming. I like, what was it? Turtle Boys. I got to find that. Hang on. I got to find this because I want to play this after. I love this. Shit. Let's see. Bear with me a second, everybody. There it is. I got to find this. I gotta play this one out. This is my favorite Turtle Boy cut of all time, but I'll play this after the article. Because I just thought about Fleming. So it goes, Fleming says, of course not. Brennan, you lied to her. Yes, Fleming. Is that a sensible question? Brennan, and you dumped her body in an unmarked grave. Fleming, it would make sense to mark the grave. Then Brennan pointed out how after Deb's body was buried in the basement, Fleming tried to present herself as a victim, telling Deb's mom that he would hire a private investigator to find her. Fleming, Mr. Brennan, that's all part of the cover-up. Brennan, you wanted to assure them in the sense that you didn't know where Deb was. Isn't that true? Fleming, it's all part of the cover-up. Yes, when you commit murder, you cover up on it. You don't admit to people. I don't know if you're aware of that. You should be. You're an attorney. Talking about different murders, Fleming again mentioned how clueless Brennan seemed. Fleming, you don't understand the underworld at all. Nothing. You're an attorney. You do not know what's going on in this world. I'm giving you the real world. I wonder if Brennan realized that Steve Fleming was just trying to educate him how to cover up must be run in Boston or in Canton. Probably not, because by taking the job of the prosecuting Karen Reed, Hank Brennan will be trying to do to Karen Reed exactly what he's accused everyone of doing to his hero, Whitey Bulger. What a shame. It's a great article. Love that. Howie Carr. Love it, love it, love it. I'll drop the link if you want to read it without my commentary. You can check that out later. But I want to play this because I just thought of Turtle Boy's clip when he had Janetti and he says, he talks about Fleming.
But today's show sucked. You had two fucking Harley Davidson fire. What's up with the Harley Davidson guys?
What, Brett? Oh, the two guys I had on earlier? You didn't like them?
I think this is the clip.
Sucked. You talk, that's fake news.
You were watching it.
Oh, you got all these viewers, and I got all these viewers, and you're telling people
you don't have all these viewers. I watched your stream today. There was 12 people there.
Now you're out of your mind. I got 10,000 views. You fucking.
Are you kidding me? Connie has more views than that. 12? That's it.
My first time I ever went and talked about you, I got 10,000 views. Look on my page. I'm restricted because of your fucking ass.
Because of me. Because I working with the. How did you know I was working with the FBI? Who told you?
Dude. Oh my God.
Who told you? Was it Romolo? It better
Right
not
here.
be Romolo.
Oh, look at this.
Look at that.
Look
What?
at that. I love this.
That's a cop. I just called him. You're driving with a suspended license. I'm gonna call that cop right now. Hold on, 1-800-COP. Okay.
You might come after me.
Hello.
Oh shit.
Yo, hey officer.
There he
Look
is.
to your right.
Janetti.
Look to your right. It's Janetti. He's driving with a suspended license. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. I told him. Pull him over.
Bitch, I got a license. I just fixed the day of court. Suck my dick.
You did not. Why did wait? Yeah, yeah.
You're a federal informant.
So what? So what? You got a problem with that?
Yeah, I got a problem with my whole family got thrown in jail. Yeah, I do.
You come from a family of snitches. That's why they all got killed by Whitey Bulger.
Listen, Mouth, my aunt was an innocent woman.
Not that innocent if Whitey killed her.
Whitey Bulger, she was going out with Steve, and it was his girlfriend. She was innocent. The other people he killed.
Yo, wait, your aunt was banging Steve Fleming? That's your claim to fame?
Yes.
Your family bangs gangsters? Okay, go on.
They didn't know he was a killer.
Steve the Rifleman yeah, nobody knew Steve the Rifleman Fleming was a killer. That was a big fucking surprise. Big secret around Boston is that Whitey Bulger employed killers. Oh, yeah.
17, 18. Are you stupid?
Oh, I'm the stupid. Yeah, yeah.
This is
yeah,
awful.
you're the smart one here.
Fucking my aunt after. You won't know nothing.
Everybody was fucking your aunt. Who wasn't fucking your aunt? That's nothing special.
Steven was fucking my aunt.
Yeah, everybody was fucking your aunt. I know that. That's the worst kept secret in Boston.
Oh, fucking, I love that. I had to play that because it had Whitey Bulger in it. It had Steve Fleming in it. And fucking Janetti. So good. So good. The days of Janetti, right? Yeah. Scott had a good chat. I want to see this. Scott says, he goes, I miss Janetti. He used to show up in person to troll Turtle Boy outside the courthouse. Haven't seen him for a while. Janetti used to end up on Tom CPU's lives outside the courtroom. You know what, Scott? I don't think he's been out there since fuck. It was cold the last time he was out there. It had to have been when was Karen's hearings in the cold? March, maybe? Did they have February hearings? It was February or March the last time he was out there. He says they actually used Janetti, programmed him to show up. Yeah, that's a good one, man. I think it's either February or March. He was the last time because it was cold. I remember that. It was cold because we're all bundled up. Yeah, he's probably locked up again. All right, let's read this article from Barstool Sports. In the most Massachusetts move ever, Karen Reed's prosecutor has been replaced with Whitey Bulger's defense lawyer. You can't make this up. The murder trial of Karen Reed ended in a mistrial. We already know that. And the retrial is scheduled for late January, which gives the whole case a sort of feel of league during the offseason. Occasionally, one of the teams does something that makes news. The bloggers and social media accounts were fully invested in covering every aspect of the regular season. When it's still going struggle to find ways to produce daily content. Mostly, they rehash highlights from May and June and offer up cold takes. And every so often, an update comes along with noteworthy, like police officer from Stoughton, town next to Canton, getting arrested by the feds and charged with murder, and a young woman he impregnated. It would be nice if he would have said Sandra Birchmore in that. A case that had been investigated by the same Massachusetts police unit and charged Reed with murdering Officer John O'Keefe, but which failed to implicate the Stoughton cop or someone involved in an interview like Reed sitting down and talk on 2020. Well, if I'm going to keep hearing my 5,000 sports metaphor since I started posting about Karen Reed, and this would appear that the free agency season, where teams are revamping their lineups and signing new acquisitions. In this latest roster move, the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office just signed a starting new pitcher, someone who's familiar with the fans of Massachusetts criminal-based trials. And we got a tweet here from Court TV. Breaking, new prosecutor will lead murder trial against Karen Reed. Special Assistant District Attorney Hank Mobman Brennan will take over for prosecutor Adam Lally after Reed's first trial ended in a mistrial. Let's hear this.
Before we head to a break, we have some breaking news to share with you out of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, where a new prosecutor will now be spearheading the Karen Reed retrial.
We'll call him
Norfolk
Hank.
District Attorney Michael Morrissey announced today.
What do we like? Do we like Hank Mobman Brennan or Hank Muscle Brennan? We need a little tagline here. We need a tagline. I don't know. Hank Whitey Brennan. Patty, thanks for the $10. Brian Albert to Meatball. What are you willing to do to prosecute the McAlberts? Meatball, I'll roll over and crush any sense of justice in the Norfolk County. You like Mob Man? I like Mob Man too. Hank Mob Man Brennan. The cleaner. Yeah. The Meatball Mafia. Hank Mob Man, Meatball Muscle Man. It's a good one too. All right, let's keep on here.
That he has tapped defense attorney Hank Brennan. That's right, you heard it.
Yeah.
Defense attorney Hank Brennan as a special assistant DA, calling him a highly respected and skilled former prosecutor.
Brennan said this in a statement that he assumes full responsibility and all obligations for prosecuting this case and will do so meticulously, ethically, and zealously without compromise.
Defendant Karen Reed stood trial earlier this year for the second-degree murder of her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. But the case ended in a mistrial when the jury was deadlocked on the charges.
She will now face a jury once again come January 2025. Court TV will be there for it all.
All right, let's keep reading on here. Let's see. We already read that in an early article. Just to emphasize the point, this doesn't mean that the prosecutors have the first trial to have been fired. It just means that the team has a new ace. Lally might have drawn the ire of the Free Karen Reed people with the frustration of all the YouTube lawyers live streaming the trial with his overuse of what, if anything. My personal favorite will always be who, if anyone, was driving the ambulance, but who has not been benched, but he's not taking the mound for game one. This Hank Brennan will be taking the ball. What, if anything, this means your guess is as good as mine. Excuse me. I've heard speculation that the DA understands that they can't lay out the same prosecution case as the last time, which is because such a major embarrassment to all involved. I mean, you have to look at the things. What are they going to do? They're not going to call Proctor up there. Prosecution's not going to call him up for witness, but I know who is going to call him up. The defense will be calling him up. You have all the mishaps with the inverted video. I'm wondering, do they pull away from that this time and go a completely different route? You had mishaps with evidence. Do they restructure this case and leave a lot of that stuff out for the new jury? You have to understand, this is going to be in front of a new jury. And that was one of the things I do remember talking to Karen about. If I said, if this goes to trial, what is your thoughts on the new jury? And she was, I guess, like, she wasn't worried, but to sense more like pissed, because now this just gives all those witnesses the opportunity to change their story again in front of this new jury. I know that she emphasized that to me during our conversation when I went out and sat down to dinner with her. She said, this is where you're going to have the opportunity where they're going to have time. But on the other hand, we're going to have time as a defense team to get all of our case back together and our facts, but they can just get up there and start lying again in front of these witnesses. And you're just going to have the defense attorneys go back and say, well, in front of the grand jury, you said this. In the last trial, you said that. So what is it? I mean, we even saw incidences in the last trial where it was like Jen McCabe would end at like 4:00 on a Friday. Everybody would go home. She'd come back on Monday and she's changing her story again. And AJ has to point that out in front of the jury. Are you saying this here? Because on Friday, you weren't saying that. So, this brings a whole new element into this. If this gets back into a retrial, you have a brand new jury. It's not going to be the same jury again. It's going to be brand new people. So what? Now those witnesses can cultivate more lies and change their story. Now is it you have I lost my train of thought. Maybe it will come back to me, maybe it won't, but I get tongue-tied. Yeah, but I mean, they were doing that last time, Hold My Latte. They were literally changing their fucking stories on the witness stands. And there's no perjury. There's no prosecution of any of these witnesses. Look, I mean, it was literally getting pointed out in court. You're changing your story. There were no consequences. All right, so let's go on. Or it could be simply that a metaphor works to decide they need a better pitcher towing the rubber because they need a win. And they see Brennan as an upgrade. I don't. I think this is going to sour a lot of those jurors. What if I confirm that I've been saying since this entire case first started, pinging the national radar and getting attention from coast to coast, that if else, this trial to us sharing mass whole culture with America, Irish cops, butt dials, caddy fights on trips to Aruba, guys getting texted that they're a pussy if they don't come out for drinks in a blizzard, Sully at the bar with us, Jameson and Ginger. The C word, I'm not going to say that one. I'll say other words, but I'm not saying the C word. C word and balloon knots and Linky Poo. And the most of all of anything have connection to everyone else living off the currency that fuels our entire state's economy. And with that, the Commonwealth is turning to not only the guy who helped defend the most notorious mobster in the state history, but who also defended the brother of a local athlete who became a national obsession in the mid-90s. I don't begrudge the decision. And by no one means do I hold against Brennan that he's one of those defense team. I say again that what Hunter S. Thompson says, even Satan deserves good counsel. More power to him that may be able to toggle back and forth between defense and prosecution like they're great attorneys, what I know. Goes on to say, what I'm saying is that reminder that something hard to wrap your brain around unless you're from here. And that is, as much Boston tries to pass itself off as a major international cities, at its core, it's still just a small town where, like to say a paragraph ago, everyone is connected to everyone else. It's very true. It's like 1 degree separation from around here. The last thing I know for sure is once the new trial begins in January, the Free Karen Reed protesters have already made a chant. Brennan has a mangina. That's pretty good. Oh, boy. Let me go back up. All right. Before we wrap this puppy up, Jennifer Coffindaffer today had to stick her nose in it like she always has to do. And I just laughed at this hilarious tweet. So let me bring this one up here. Here we go. Jennifer Coffindaffer today. High expectations for the new prosecutor in the John O'Keefe case. High expectations. A fucking mob boss attorney. High expectations. Karen Reed is charged with murdering Officer John O'Keefe. Hashtag Hank Brennan is a former defense attorney vehemently against public corruption. She's talking about this guy being against corruption. Are you fucking kidding me? He knows there is no corruption in the case. That's why he agreed to prosecute Reed. He wholly believes Reed hit John in an angry, drunken rage based on his perception of the case. Brennan is also experienced at prosecuting complex cases. The irony is this isn't complex. It's a DUI hit and run. But no mention that he defended Whitey Corrupt Bulger, right? Whitey Killer Bulger. Let's look at some of the responses here. Jennifer, you still haven't addressed the lack of body injuries in which would have been caused by a 7,000-pound SUV traveling 24 miles an hour. Where are the bodily injuries to John O'Keefe? If that expected injuries aren't present, then he was not hit by an SUV. She says, I have many times. Justice Reed said he was clipped and suffered severe internal injuries. There was another one in here that was kind of funny. Let's see. Well, too complex for your friend. The Broken Baker. I like this one. Well, too complex for your friends at the DA's office. Will they still use your social media platform like the first case? That's a good one. I like this one too. Laura says if he's vehemently against public corruption, he's going to have his hands full with those Canton cops. That's a good one. Let's see. Lawyer defending Whitey Bulger is vehemently against public corruption. I like that. Jennifer, you seem to be one of the only people who's holding out that there isn't corruption in this case. Why aren't you so sure of that? You're not on the case or investigating it. What could you possibly know? You seem very biased, and it's not a good look on you. So on and on and on it reads. But of course, Jennifer Coffindaffer has to get her fucking nose in this and saying that this guy's a good guy. You got to be kidding me. All right, everybody. We're about coming up on an hour and a half. Friday night. Appreciate everybody being here. We're going to pick a super chat, an awesome super chat. And if you want to get in on this, the beige and white free Karen Reed hat, you got to be here. And I'm going to pick a lucky winner here in a second. But if you want to get in, send a quick super chat. We'll get you involved. 25% of all donations tonight will get kicked back to Karen Reed. Mary, can you give us the total right now? And maybe we can get a few more in here before we wrap this up. And I'm going to pick one. And what one do I like so far? I like this one. I got one that I like so far. Yeah, don't leave yet. We're gonna give the hat away. Scott says we're at 269. So 269 right now, 25% of that. I haven't done one of these in a while. We'll round it up to 270. 270 so far, minus 25%. So 67, we'll give $70 back to Karen Reed's Defense Fund tonight. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. All right, we'll give it another minute here. If anybody wants to get in, you can send a super chat. And I'm going to pick the winner tonight. Jennifer, thank you so much. Whoa, look at this. Go Notre Dame, $20. Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll add $20 to the total. So we're at 269 plus 20. It's going to bring us up to 289. We'll make it 290. 290, 25% of that, 72. We'll give 75. And we're going to pick a winner here in a second. We'll pick the super chat of the night. Oh, Turtle Boy's at the game tomorrow. Nice. And thank you for the 20. I appreciate that, Jennifer. 1776. Love it. Great show tonight. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate that. Thank you all being here. I haven't done a solo in a while. Haven't done a Karen Reed stream in a while. Felt nice to see the community come back. All right, let's pick a winner here. I like this one. Where was it? I like this one. So the winner tonight is going to be Megan Johnson. I love this one when it first came in. Tell me Morrissey's corrupt without telling me. In walks Hank Brennan to the DA's office. So Megan, are you here in the room? Scott says Sandra Birchmore standout tomorrow in Canton, 12-3. Thank you, Scott. May, thanks for the 20. We'll add that to the total. Is Megan in the room? You got to be here, Megan. Let me know you're in the room. Add another 20 to that total, Mary. I like that one. Hopefully Megan's here. If Megan's not here, I'm going to pick another one. If she's not here, I'm going to pick another person. You had to be here. That was the, let's see. Kerry, thank you so much. $10. $10. Let's add that. Thank you, Kerry. I appreciate that. I just saw Megan. All right. Well, we'll wait, see if she's chatting. Megan, if you're here, let us know in the chat. I just need you to email me. And if not, I'm going to give it about another 30 seconds, and then I'm going to pick a winner. I want to give this away. Thanks, Mary. Appreciate updating the total. I don't know. I don't think Megan's here. I like this one too. I got the next one. All right. We're going to give it about another. Let's see. I'm going to get a. All right. You still got time to donate. 30 seconds. Here we go. We're starting a timer. Her username is this. This was the winning. Megan Johnson. Five seconds to claim it. And then we're going to. All right. I'm going to pick a new winner. The new winner is. Oh, here she is. I got her. Yeah, she's in the room. Just took her a little while. Oh, you just came in. We'll give it to you. We're going to give it to you. Awesome. 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 We're going to give it to you. I had a little bit of a delay, so we'll give it to you. Megan, what you need to do is email me. And I'm going to put my email address in the chat room. At Let's Talk Live Podcast at gmail.com. So just email me here. Oh, Let's Talk Live Podcast at gmail.com. Put in the subject line, hat winner. I'll get you vetted, and then we'll get this sent out. I got 2 hats I need to send out on Monday. If I can get you vetted in time, we'll get this sent out to you on Monday as well. So you are the winner of the beige and white free Karen Reed Boma hat. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Megan, where are we at total? Mary, we're total at 319. We're going to make that 320. 25% of that will go to Karen Reed's Defense Fund. That's $80. $80 tonight will go to Karen Reed's Defense Fund. I will post the screenshot of the donation on my Facebook page. I'm going to show you what that is. So if you're not connected there, that's how I usually do it on the Facebook homepage. And I'll drop the link. Connect with me over there. Give it a follow. Connect with me there. I'll post the receipt up there. And I also post it on my community tab in the on the YouTube group, on my YouTube page. So for transparency. And then obviously you can go over there and it will say $80. It will say LTL Media Chat Raiser. I'll put the date 9/20/24 on her defense fund link. And that is the ultimate way that you can vet me over there. I want to let everybody know, so far this year, we have raised, I think, just over $10,000 through LTL Media that we have donated to Karen Reed's Defense Fund. I want to thank all of you. I'm going to do a vetted total soon, but it's pretty close to 10,000, I think, that we've given back so far. So I want to thank all of you for being here and helping me raise those funds and donate the 25% back to Karen Reed's Defense Fund. I really do appreciate it. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out Friday night. It's late. Thank you for being here late on this Friday night edition of LTL. I love all of you, and I will be back here at some point, maybe Sunday night. We'll see how it goes. But Megan, congratulations. We'll get this out to you. Thank you, all of my wrenches, my moderators in the room, all of the Ghost Squad that are in here. I love all of you. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. It was a fun stream tonight. I haven't done one of these. It was a nice variety to kick back and look at a whole bunch of different cases tonight. So thank you for being here. I love all of you. And if it's your first time over here, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe and hit that bell notification. Turn them on so you know when I go live, and make sure to hit that like button on the way out. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out. I'm going to get some rest. Geez, what time is it? 11 p.m. Time to go. Yes, ghost check on the way out. Yeah, I'll do a ghost check on the way out. I haven't done that in a while. Thank you, everybody, for the great show. I thought it was great, too. I felt a little rusty at first, but we pulled it together, and it was really good. It's nice to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It makes a huge difference. And I have a special message coming up to everybody on the 26th. So look out for that video. It's going to drop. It's going to drop soon, and it's a special message that I'll be putting out there. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out. Have a good night. Bye-bye.